it is finally time to give you an update on the deep water culture plant that I have going right now. And I want to start outside of the grow tent because I want to show you the conditions that are inside of the grow tent. So here is the new controller AI Plus by AC Infinity. And you can see it's at 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 72% relative humidity, and that's a 0.83 kPa. So for the kPa, that's VPD. I typically aim for 0.8 up to 1.1 kPa when I'm in the seedling or vegetative stage. Let's go into the tent now and I'll show you the plant. All right, so it's been a handful of weeks since the plant has been in the system. You can see that there is definitely new growth. One thing to clarify is that this was a re-vegged plant. So I took the clone in flowering and put it into the veg light cycle to re-veg it. What happened here, you can see that these whole areas here were foliage. So that's why it looks kind of weird here. Sometimes you see single leaves like this. That's due to re-vegging. This plant definitely has some problems, which we'll go over, but just wanted to clarify this is re-vegged, and so that's why it looks a little funky on that avenue. And this isn't a plant that I'm reliant on. I want to make that clear as well, that this is my first time using the system. I don't care if it fails and I lose this plant. I'm not reliant on this plant to get to a harvest. So I want to make that very clear as well. Is definitely encountering some problems here. I'll go over a list of things that I have encountered and then we'll go from there. Definitely got some good feedback from folks in the comment section as well. You guys crushed that last video where I was talking about switching over to DWC. It was over 50,000 views and the comments were flooded with really, really good advice. So thank you to all who took the time. Some left paragraphs in the comment section. So I really want to thank you for your time doing that because I know it takes a while to write up responses like that. Definitely got a lot of good feedback. One of the things that came to mind right off the bat is these clay pebbles. I didn't wash them. I went right to grabbing them out of the bag and putting them here. There were tons of people that said that I should have washed them. They said that there would be kind of gunk that would come down and end up in the reservoir. I didn't see any of that. So maybe, I don't know if this particular brand maybe pre-washes it and it doesn't need to, but it didn't seem to have any residual stuff coming from it that settled at the bottom of the reservoir. So I figured I'd mention that one. Another thing that was mentioned was tubing. So we had blue tubing for the air stone. I switched to black. So there are quite a few people who mentioned that as well. They said that algae can build up in that airline right there, which is a little surprising to me just because there's only air going through that. There's no water. But I guess maybe water might back up into it and cause algae. I'm not too sure about that, but I did switch out the line to black tubing because that was a recommendation. I also switched out the air stone. We had some people that were mentioning that the air stone seemed to be a little bit too small and they recommended these larger pucks. So I have the 5-inch puck here. I don't know how much of a difference this is actually doing. It looks to be about the same amount of bubbling, but maybe it's the actual air pump that maybe I upgrade. Love to know in the comment section below if you think that amount of air bubbling there should be good or if I should upgrade my pump. So as far as the actual growth, and I'm seeing some deficiencies here, definitely ran into some problems. One of the things was I saw the pH go up a little bit. So what I did was I added in some pH down. Now, when I first added it in and checked the pH, it was at like 3.5. And I was like, that doesn't seem right. Maybe it just needs time to kind of settle in and mix. So I let it sit, came back 24 hours. I probably shouldn't have waited that long. Came back 24 hours and it was still at that 3.5. So I had to bump back up the pH. And the plant stunted. It looked like it was dying off, dying leaves, like the nutrients weren't available at that low pH. But I corrected that. The other problem was what I called out that I thought a problem was going to be was the high water temperature. So the water temperature actually went up to 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Needed to get that a lot lower. One of the things I did was lower the temperature in the grow tent. So I went from running at 82 degrees Fahrenheit inside the tent down to about 77. And that actually brought the water temperature down to 73, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's an acceptable range where I'm at right now. So I need to hold steady. The frozen water bottle trick, I haven't tried that just yet. I know there are quite a few that mentioned that in the comment section. They said, hey, put in some frozen water bottles to help lower the temperature. I'll use that in the future, I'm sure. Also, a water chiller was something that was mentioned. I did some initial research on the water chillers and I'm looking for some recommendations. Which ones do you guys use and recommend? Because it seems like there are a lot They range in price from $200 up to like $600, $700. Which one do you think I need would be beneficial for me? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd appreciate that one. As for the deficiencies that the plant's encountering, I mentioned that the pH was off. That could have impacted it. I also mentioned that there was a water temperature issue, right? That could have impacted it. But I'm seeing quite a bit of deficiencies here. Now, it's been a few days since I corrected things. We're seeing some of the actual rust spots on here. This is typically, in my experience, calcium deficiency. However, I actually got my cannabis cultivation certificate from Utah State University, and when they showed the pictures of calcium deficiency, this wasn't shown. So that was a little bit of a head scratcher. But using CalMag, a CalMag product, would correct that problem in my experience. Also seeing this right here, which is basically yellowing happening, kind of starting from the outer edges. Again, this is another thing that probably happened because of the pH being too low and just not access to the nutrients, or the water temperature just being too high. Now, since I've corrected these things and actually put in the next week's nutrient regimen as well, according to the feeding chart, we're up to about 800 ppm on a 500 scale. But I'd love to know what you run for ppm during this phase of veg. Let me know in the comments. But change out the nutrient solution for the next week. And yeah, let's see how this looks in a couple days here. 2-3 days, things should bounce back and we should see some new growth, some good growth happening here. I know when I initially did correct the pH and the water temperature issue, growth took off, right? So clearly you can see that there was purpling of the stems here, which is often an indication of a nutrient deficiency. And it started turning back to green again, especially with some of this new growth. So it's bouncing back from whatever it was going through. As long as I have pH dialed in, the nutrition's available there, the water temperature is where it should be, hoping that this will take off and I'll be able to flip the flower and then end up to a harvest. So wish me luck. And yeah, just to reiterate, this is my first time actually going through this. So I know some people watch my videos because they want advice on what to do. Maybe shouldn't take my advice or follow my lead for this particular run because this is new to me as well. So I definitely never claim to know it all. I'm always learning. And yeah, appreciate you guys in the comment section. Give me some feedback. That's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave it at that. Peace out, everyone. Catch you in the next one.